Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Makawadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel, starting up with the 144,000, which would be the ruling governing body in the kingdom of heaven, which would be all men. Also to a lot of the 1/3 here in America, which would be men, women, and children that will be saved, that will be believers. 2/3 of all people here in America will be destroyed. You have the rebels that are scattered abroad that will be destroyed, and you have the elect that are scattered abroad in different countries as well that will be saved. Right? Of who the world ignorantly and willingly calls black, Hispanic, Native American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Haitian, Guatemalans, to Panamanians, Cubans, Argentinians to Chileans, Colombians. You know, we are the Israelites, contrary to what the world wants to believe. On the brother Yaramia, come back at you with another lesson. And we got another update on the MOTB. It says, China beats Elon Musk to launch world's first commercial brain chip. Right? You know? So that means it's ready for the public, you know? They're advertising it, you know, over there. Probably on commercials and, you know, stuff like that. Maybe billboards, you know, it's ready, man. So this is real close, man. You know, the Lord is speeding everything up, right? They say, you know, they even ahead of what Elon Musk was doing over here in America, man. You know, we don't have a lot of time left, man. And let me get Romans 13 and 11 real quick, right? Because this is one of the last prophecies that we're waiting for, man. It says, Romans 13 and 11, it says, "In that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation, everyone will believe." And when this thing happened, you know, it's going to be a major shakeup amongst Israel, like the elders and apostles always say. And it's going to be a major, you know, thing in the earth, man. You know, because you're going to have to decide whether you take that and serve this man, or whether you're going to either rely on faith. Right? Depending on YASHAMIAHLA. You know, and that's ultimately what we're going to have to do. But it is what it is, man. You know, and some of us may even be put to death for this thing, for not taking it. You know? Yeah, they're going to propose it as a, you know, a means to live and, you know, a benefit to your life and, you know, it being a big help and everything like that. They're not going to tell you that's the MOTB. They're not going to tell you the negative fakes of it. Of course not. The devil ain't gonna ever tell you he's the devil, man. You know, that ain't gonna ever happen, right? But like I said, hey, call hello, y'all, but these things are coming to pass, man. At the bottom it says, revolutionizing brain-computer interaction. It says advancing AI, medicine, and human potential. You see, that's them playing YASHAMIAHLA, man. You know, that's them playing, as people in the world would say, God. You know, who are you to say that, you know, you have the power to enhance and you want to make people better? The Lord has the ability. You don't. And so all these damn heathens are proud, man. You know, they're all proud. You know, MOAB, because that's who the Chinese are, the Moabites. They're proud too. You know, which they're just following Esau. You know. But, you know, let me get this Obadiah, man. It just came to my head, you know. And really, you know, the Lord is using you all, but the Lord's, hey, when the Lord come back, y'all going into slavery, man. You know, y'all going into slavery. That's what's going to happen to y'all. Let me get Obadiah real quick. All right. Verse 15 says, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it should be done unto thee, and thy reward shall return upon thine own head." You see, you know, just how y'all trying to, you know, enforce and mandate this, you know, CHIP, and take away people's rights. Well, y'all rights about to get taken away. You know, all y'all heathen. It ain't not just the Moabites, the Edomites, the Elamites, the Hamites, the Ishmaelites. You know, all you heathen, y'all all about to get y'all rights taken away. Y'all ain't gonna be able to be wicked in the kingdom or just be able to do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all ain't gonna have this power to put no damn CHIP in somebody in the kingdom. You know, that ain't gonna happen. You know, and their main target, of course, you know, is the Israelites, because you got Israelites over there in China as well. You know, we everywhere. We scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. You know, but best believe Esau is behind us. He's the head of over all these countries. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. You know, I want to read some of this article. It says, Chinese authorities have greenlit the world's first commercially viable brain-computer interface implant, marking a significant milestone in neurotechnology. And this only lets you know that Esau got to come harder. You know, so best believe you're going to start seeing commercials for this thing. You're going to start seeing it in the local news. You know, you're going to start seeing it more in the algorithms on, you know, whatever social media, YouTube, you know, whatever it is. You're going to start seeing billboards, celebrities endorse this. It's coming, man. We real close, man. Weeks, months away. You know, definitely in our lifetime. It says the coin-sized device known as the NEO has successfully completed clinical trials and is poised for mass production within China's state-run health system. You see, that's what it's all about. I remember I did a video, I think it was last year, maybe almost 2 years ago. But they have some type of health system that they want to implement here. And I think his name was Dr. Oz. He used to have like a reality TV show. Pretty sure elders and brothers know who I'm talking about. Some old Edomite. And he used to always talk about, you know, different health stuff. And I remember there was an episode where he was promoting the chip. But you can't find it now. You know, it's wiped off the internet. You know, but they was talking about basically implementing, when you look up the digital health ecosystem, when you look up when they want to implement it, I think they said about 2027 or 2028. I did a lesson on it, but you would have to look it up to double confirm. But it was basically talking about everything being digital and how they gonna implement it, how they gonna track your health. You know, they're gonna use that C-HIP, right? And with the way the economy is going, you know, like I said, that C-HIP is gonna be used for many different things. It ain't gonna just be for you paying for stuff and using it for a transaction and business. It's gonna track your health. It's gonna have your ID. That's gonna be your wallet. That's gonna be your identity to get everywhere. You're gonna use it to get in your house. They're gonna have these 15-minute cities. That's the future that these devils want, man. And it's pretty much here. That's why they building these data centers everywhere too. You know, they gotta all come together, you know, full circle to connect, to work properly. You know, these devils ain't slick, man. You know, which they ain't really trying to be slick. They out in the open with everything now. You know, but that's the Lord making them expose themselves. But you know, we are real close. You know, and you still got Jakes, you know, talking about, you know, this ain't the MOTB. And, you know, you Jakes is just gonna have to. Most of y'all Jakes gonna take this thing, man. You know, how could you sit here and say that when this MOTB is clear? You know, well, I know why. Let me get this. This is Sirach 39 and 24. This is why. Right? Hey, the brother Yawanan, the Nashville GMS camp, he quoted this yesterday at camp. This is Sirach 39 and 24. It says, "As his ways are plain to the holy, so are they stumbling blocks to the wicked." You see, so if you're wicked, you're not going to understand the prophecies. The Lord's not going to reveal himself to you. Right? Like it says in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 1st chapter, into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter. And this is precious wisdom from the heavens. Right? You not knowing what the MOTB is, how are you going to know not to take it? You know? Why would you think something's wrong? You know? If you don't know the prophecies, you're going to lean towards Esau. You're going to lean towards something. You know? You know, and that's why the Lord, ultimately, you know, the Lord has the elect that you got the non-elect. And a lot of Israelites that know the Israelites, you know, hopefully I'm not part of that number, and brothers ain't, you know, we getting there to the end. You know, we want to be a part of the elect number, man. But, let me get this in Ezekiel 12, I believe it is. Right, because the Lord is going to shut a lot of you Israelites up, man, especially when it really happened. You know, y'all ain't going to be able to say anything, and y'all going to have to answer for all the stuff, all the lies y'all been teaching, man. This is Ezekiel 12 and verse 21. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that you have in the land of Israel, saying that days are prolonged and every vision faileth?" Right, man. You know, time just keeps going on. Time's going all slow. You know, we ain't never getting out of here. You know, people been saying that forever. That's what it means when it says every vision faileth. The prophecies, you know, they've been talking about that forever. That ain't gonna never happen. People still scoffing. It says, "Tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, by YASHAMIAHLA, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but shall say to them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision." And the Lord has made that plain. A lot of people are starting to see where this society is going. They are starting to see that The CHIP is a real thing. They may not know it's a market to be some people, but a lot of Christians do know. And a lot of Israelites are waking up at the same time. So, you know, it's a balance, you know, with everything. But just know that this thing is not years away. This thing can happen at the end of this year. This thing can happen next year, 2 years from now. You know, of course, we want to be out of here today. You know, we don't want to be here, continually being here, man, because every day we're suffering. You know, and that's why we want the Lord to speed these things up, man. But let me get Revelation 13 and 16. And in other countries in Europe too, it's already available in other countries like Sweden, you know, just different countries in Europe. It's already available, you know. So it ain't like this thing wasn't already around. It's been around. It's just getting more steam because we're in the time for it to be put out. Right? It's Revelation 13 and verse 16. It says, and he calls it all. Right? That Esau eat them both small and great. Doesn't matter your condition in society, who you are. Right? Rich and poor, free and bond. Right? And I believe they have a program. I forgot where I seen it. I think I might have seen it on the brother's lesson where they was offering people to take the CHIP who are on probation, I think. Or no, they was offering people to take the CHIP if they want to get out. You got to take the CHIP in certain countries, I think. So, you know, a lot of people, they can say all on videos, on comments that they ain't going to take it. But when they back is against the wall and when that famine hit, they're going to take it, man. Most people took the jump shot, so you're going to take the CHIP. And the world's not going to get better. You trust in what you see. These people don't have faith out here, man. So they're going to take it. You know, we just hope that we don't take it and that we stand firm. And if we got to go out for this word, then it is what it is. It says to receive a mark in their right hand. When you go into that word, mark means incision, charagma, right, in their foreheads. And no man might buy or sell save that he had the mark in the name of the beast, the number of his name. You see? So that's what it's all about, man. You know, we're here. Anybody who says it's something otherwise is a liar and a deceiver, man. You know, the Lord revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. You know? You know, yeah. You know, if you take this thing, you know, you're going to get a great grievous sources. Revelation 16 and verse 2 says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon which worship his image. You see? So there's going to be people that have boils, you know, a huge bumps and shit, you know, pus, you know, coming out of their damn, wherever they took it. It don't matter where you take it. It's still the MOTB, right? It's still you know, admit to the Lord, yeah, I turn my back on you. You know, this is my God. Esau, you know, this current system, man's my God. Well, the Lord says, cursed be the man that trusteth in man. He's going to take you out if you trust in him, if you an Israelite. You heathens can do whatever you want to do. You know, the Israelites is who the Lord is dealing with. The elect, should I say, because he ain't dealing with our people. But, you know, the main judgment is for you. You know, if you take this thing, which is going to happen to heathens too. But, you know, we warning you. You're the Lord's people. You know, so don't take this thing, man. You know, you're going to see more and more of this. Hey, you know, I don't know. This may be on the news. I'm not sure yet, but I haven't seen it. I just came across it today. But hey, don't take this thing, man. We almost up out of here. Pray for more faith. Pray for more wisdom and knowledge. Pray for endurance. I'm talking to myself first and foremost. I'm going to close out. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Yahweh. That will honors to the elders and pastors of Great Millstone. Till next time, I'm going to say, Baba, Shalom.